Okay, that's all right. So we've got Tanner and Yulisa. We're both here.
Yes.
I don't. Do y'all have copies of your oath?
Yes.
Okay, I go a little slower if you don't have copies. So it's quite a lengthy oath. Um, and I don't make you keep your hand raised because it is quite a lengthy oath. So, but if you would please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Yulisa
I,
Castillo,
Tanner Mortensen,
Do solemnly promise and pledge
do solemnly promise and pledge
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will
that I will faithfully execute the
duties
duties
of a court-appointed special advocate
of
of
a
a court-appointed special advocate
as assigned and appointed by the district and county courts
as
as
assigned and
assigned by
information
appointed
or
received
assigned
the
and appointed
district
by
of
a district
court
of any and all information received,
information received,
holding all such matters in strictest confidence and only to the furtherance
holding
and
all such
only to the
matters in strict
furtherance
only to the furtherance
of the best interests
of the best interests
of the best interest
of the child or children.
of the child or children.
of the child or children.
All right, one more paragraph. We'll get through this. So, all right. And I furthermore promise and pledge
And I furthermore promise and
And I
pledge
furthermore promise and pledge
that as a court-appointed special advocate
as a court-appointed
special advocate
in carrying out my duties as such,
and carrying out my
and
duties
carrying
as
out
such,
my
the paramount concern will be
the paramount concern will be
the best interest of the child or children
the best interest of the child or children
to whom I may be assigned.
to whom I may be assigned.
All right, Mr. Mortensen's been muted again. Okay.
What the heck is going on? My bad.
Okay, well, we're almost through it. So that we finished the oath except for the last part. So help me God.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, we got through it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all coming on board. I tell all the new advocates, you cannot imagine what this means to these kiddos because a lot of times you're the only one that they'll talk to. So appreciate you doing that. We'll appoint you. I would appoint on every single case if I could, but there's only so many of you advocates. So we try to point you to the ones that we think you can do the most good for. So, and if you're not used to seeing us in court, both myself and Judge Baker, you can always go on YouTube to our channels and kind of watch us and just see how court goes. So anytime you want to do that, you're welcome to join us. And I look forward to working with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Y'all have a good week.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Doug. We're here on a compliance hearing following an order to participate. Ms. Wiggins is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram is with us representing the children. Mr. Hill is with us representing the mother, Miss Zamora. Mr. Hill, I don't see Miss Zamora in the waiting room. Were you expecting her?
Unfortunately, Judge, no, I was unable to get a hold of her.
Okay, all right. Okay, this case was set for 9 o'clock. It's now 9:03, so we'll go ahead and proceed in her absence. And Miss Wiggins, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. I call Sarah Gonzalez Williams.
Okay. All right, thank you. Miss Wiggins?
Thank you, Judge. Excuse me, Miss Williams. How are you currently employed?
I work for the Department of Family and Protective Services.
And she was ordered by the court to work some services with Family Base. Is that correct?
Correct.
And how is she doing on those services?
We just recently got her set up with her services.
Okay. And specifically, it looks like individual counseling, anger management, and rational behavior training.
That's correct.
And in addition to that, does the department visit the family in the home?
Correct.
And how often is it that the department would want to visit the family in the home?
We're supposed to meet with her 3 times a month.
Okay. And is there some issue with Miss Zamora not being welcoming to the department in her home?
There have been some times in the last couple of months that we've had some misunderstandings, yes.
And are we specifically asking the judge to order that the department be allowed to enter the home and communicate with the children at least 3 times a month?
Correct.
And are we also asking that the judge specifically order that can be announced or unannounced visits?
Correct.
Other than that, are there any other services that the judge needs to order at this time?
No.
Okay. And how are the children doing in the home?
They're doing really well. They are not currently in any services or in need of any services. They all appear to be doing really well developmentally and mentally. They are doing well in school. So as of right now, they are not engaging in any services.
Okay. Does the department still feel like it needs to be involved to help give some services to the mother to help deal with her anger issues, just for the safety of the children in the home?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hill.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right. Then, Ms. Williams, did you want another compliance hearing down the road?
Yes, please.
How far out would you like it?
3 months is fine.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Ingram, anything you need to add?
No, sir. Kids seem to be doing fine.
Okay. Okay, then I will order that Ms. Zamora continue to work the services that were previously ordered by the court. I will order that Ms. Zamora allow St. Francis and/or the department into her home, whether it be announced or unannounced, and allow St. Francis or the department to visit with the children at least 3 times monthly. Okay, I will set the next compliance hearing for February 26th, 2024. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of February 26th to see what time we'll have that hearing.
Please?
Yes, sir. All right, that will conclude.
Not related to this case, so, but we've got a new order to participate case. It's one set next Monday.
Uh-huh.
I've got a 12-year-old girl, and I'm going to talk to her this afternoon, but she's told Andy she wants to participate. And I don't really want her to, and I didn't know what your feelings were about kids participating in a motion to participate hearing.
No, I don't. My typical deal in any kind of regular case is just 12 or older, 12 to 13, 14. I usually like input from the ad litem to see what they think. But on a motion to participate, if you don't think that's a good idea, I don't think there's anything that requires me to even consider it.
Well, that's why I wasn't sure if that statute would even apply to a motion to participate.
Yeah, I kind of don't think it does. But I don't think at that age, if you don't think it's a good idea, then I'm going to respect your wishes because you're the one that's representing the child. So
what about her, the judge conferring with the child? Would that be an option, Harry?
Well, I guess it could be if he agreed to it. I tell you what the situation is. Andy's already talked to her, and we're both going to talk to her again this afternoon. Andy believes, based on her conversations, that she's getting pushed by a stepmother to stick her nose in it because the father is not even listed in the case. Only the mother is being asked to be ordered to work services. The child is living with her father, and we feel like stepmothers wanting her to participate so they can stick their nose into the hearing.
Okay. But I'll be happy to talk to her. I'll confer with her if she wants to do that. Obviously, we'll do it like we always do in chambers. And if someone wants a record, we'll make a record. If not, but we can do that really anytime before next Monday, or we can do it right before we start that hearing. So if she wants to confer with me, I'll do that. Period.
Okay, we'll talk to her this afternoon and then decide which way to go.
All right, y'all let me know.
All right, thanks.
See y'all back at 10:15. We're here on a status hearing. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Mr. Ingram is with us representing the child. Ms. Kincaid is with us representing the mother, Ms. Kimball, who is with us. And the father, David Valdez, is not with us, and he is not in the waiting room. Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Stephanie Corbett as its witness.
All right, thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Corbett, I understand you're sick. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you the one testifying today, or should I call your supervisor?
I'll do my best.
Okay.
I think I can testify.
Okay, great. And you're assigned to Miranda, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is her mother
Mandy Kimball,
and who is her father?
David
Belhuse.
Belhuse.
Okay. And have you created service plans for both Mandy and for David?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you also filed a status court report for this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we ask that the court take judicial notice of the status hearing court report filed on November 15th of 2023.
All right, so noted, and I have read that report.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Stephanie, the family plans of service, are they the department's reasonable efforts to reunify the family?
Yes, ma'am.
Do they aim to mitigate the reasons for removal?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please identify just one or two services that is uniquely tailored for Mandy Kimball?
See, I have that she will notify me if anyone is caring for Miranda besides herself. She will locate and maintain stable housing with working utilities. Another one. She'll be responsible for all of Miranda's educational development and behavioral needs, and will model and expectant behaviors for her child, and will be appropriate will set appropriate boundaries and discipline.
Okay. In addition to that, Miss Kimball is currently sober. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so is one of the services uniquely tailored for her to maintain that drug-free lifestyle?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you please identify just one or two services that are uniquely tailored for David Belhuse?
Yes, ma'am. That he will complete 2 12-step meetings a week. Either AA, NA, or Celebrate Recovery. He will follow through with recommendations from the provider and provide a signed copy of the 12-step meetings he attends in person monthly. He will also complete an OSAR, and I have him for parenting classes.
Okay. And that OSAR, is that a substance abuse assessment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are we asking the judge to make these service plans in order of the court today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Let's talk about Miranda then. How's she doing in her current placement?
She's doing well.
And she is currently placed with Mandy, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please give us a couple of details on how she's doing well?
When I first seen her, she said she was having some nightmares, but that she was doing well. She was glad to still be going to her same school. The second time I seen her, she said she's not having any more nightmares. She was riding her hoverboard around, just laughing and, having a good time. So she seems to be doing much better than she was in the beginning.
And as far as updates on her medical, it looks like she recently got glasses. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And she was found to be anemic. What steps are being taken to help her with the anemia?
I'm not 100% sure, Mandy. Was she getting iron or anything?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, you can't ask Mandy, but I can call her as a witness after this if we need to. Okay?
I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. To your knowledge, is the child receiving iron supplements now?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. In addition, she had a dental visit and had 10 cavities filled. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And she's currently in therapy. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Is she on any psychotropic medication?
No.
Okay. Now, as far as visitation, the court ordered no visitation for Mr. Veldhuis. Is that being followed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How is she doing in school, if you have any details on that?
I heard she's passing. She had A's and B's. She has had 1 or 2 small behavioral incidents, but it was taken care of.
Okay. CASA witness.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kincaid.
Thank you, Your Honor. Since the department has taken possession of the, conservatorship of the child, have there been any incidents with Mr. Beldius?
Yes, there has.
Okay, what were the incidents?
He went up to Miranda's school and tried to pull her out. He tried to tell the school campus police officer that we kidnapped his child, and he also spoke with my supervisor, Kristen, and said he was going to press charges for kidnapping of his child.
Okay. Would it be appropriate for the department to request that he not be allowed at the school campus?
Yes, ma'am.
Would it be appropriate that, I mean, we already have, orders from this court, but would it be appropriate that it be ordered that he not have any contact with the child until he begins to comply with the service plan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so far as Mandy's concerned, has she stayed in contact with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Has she cooperated with the department in anything that you've requested of her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are there any concerns with the current placement with Mandy?
No.
Okay. Thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further from the department?
Nothing further from the department, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Corbett, at the last hearing, I ordered David to both hair strand and UA drug screen by October 10th at 4 p.m. Did he do that?
No, ma'am. No, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. All right, then, Ms. Kincaid, any witnesses?
I'll just briefly call Ms. Kimball.
Ms. Kincaid.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Just briefly for the court, what medications is the child on?
She's taking the supplement vitamins for iron deficiency. So it's just like an over-the-counter vitamin.
Okay, but that was at the recommendation of her pediatrician. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you're following through with that to make sure that she's getting any kind of medical attention that she needs?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Gutierrez, any questions?
No, Your Honor, no questions.
Thank you. Mr. Ingram.
No questions.
All right, then, Mr. Ingram, recommendations?
Continue department's temporary managing conservator, continue no contact order with the father. Also agreed that he should not be allowed to go to her school. Miranda's doing well with mom, no concerns.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, then, based on what I've heard, I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, continue Miranda's current placement with her mom. I'll order the services for both parents as contained in their service plans. I'll order that the father not be allowed to go to Miranda's school. And I will continue the previous no contact order between the father and Miranda until further court order. All right, we will have our next hearing, the initial permanency hearing, on March 25th, 2024. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two before March 25th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. Okay, Ms. Kimball, I need to advise you today that the services contained in your service plan become a court order today. At a final hearing, if you haven't worked those services, your parental rights could be altered or terminated. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Sounds like things going good. Yes.
Can we go ahead and have Mr. Veltu's order to drug screen by UA and hair follicle today?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right. In addition to my previous order, I'll order that Mr. Beldhughes, both hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today at Care Express in Amarillo. Okay. All right. That will conclude this hearing. For those of you involved, I'll be back here in about 15 Mr. Albee is with us representing the department. Mr. Ingram is with us representing the child. Mr. Jackson is with us, has recently been appointed to represent the mother, Ms. Morrow, who is with us. And Mr. Hill is with us, who was just appointed to represent the father, Mr. O'Quinn, who is not with us. And then Mr. Hamker's with us, who has filed an intervention. Mr. Hamker, who are your, let me see, your client is Veronica Rodriguez. She is in the waiting room, and let me get her in. Okay, Ms. Rodriguez is now with us. As I mentioned when I called the case, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Hill were just recently appointed to represent these parents. My understanding from talking to Haley is that we might have some motions for continuance. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, on behalf of the father, I was literally appointed, as you know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes ago, something like that.
Yeah. And Mr. Jackson, I understood you were, he's trying to connect. Let's let him connect. But I understand he was going to ask too, which obviously I'll grant. Let's wait and get him in. Okay, Mr. Jackson, if you'd unmute.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Hill has made a motion for continuance as he was appointed about 15 minutes ago, and I understand that you were going to make the same motion. Is that correct?
Well, I was prepared to go forward this morning, Judge, but I have no objection to Mr. Hill's motion.
Yeah, okay. Okay, based on what I just said about him having just been appointed, then I am going to grant that motion for continuance. I'll reset this adversary hearing for December 11th, 2023. Haley tells me it'll be in the afternoon, but we don't know exactly what time yet, I don't think. So parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance to see exactly what time that hearing will take place on December 11th.
Judge.
Yes, sir.
For your information, I'll be involved in a jury trial on December 11th. I'm sure we'll have someone who will cover this, but it won't be me.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And Judge, I believe I'm in the same jury trial with Mr. Albee.
Well, let's just get a different date then. Haley, let's work for something different. While we're waiting on that, Mr. Hamker, I noticed I'm going to order that you replead before that date. You've got a motion for intervention that doesn't set out any standing to speak of, and it also does not, it's not a motion for leave to intervene. It's filed as an intervention. So I'm going to order that you replead along the lines that I just mentioned.
That's fine, Your Honor. I'm kind of in the same shape as Jeff is. So
Okay.
That's done about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, let's just we'll get a new date where everybody can attend. That'll give you time to replead and be sure we'll all be present.
I might ask, Your Honor, if Todd or Jeff or anybody has any objections to any visitation by the grandmother if she were to do it at the other grandparent's house who has custody of the child by herself.
Judge, I'm sure that we can arrange visitation for Mr. Hamker's client through St. Francis Ministries.
Okay. Well, I'll leave that to you. I'm not going to order it. I'm not, we've got people, okay. Mr. Hill's probably not even talked to his client, so I'm not going to make him take a stand on that today.
Judge,
yes, sir.
You're done with us. Could I ask you to put us, the attorneys, in a breakout room so we can kind of discuss our positions?
Absolutely. I'll be happy to as soon as we get this reset date. This is the last hearing I have this morning. I'll just leave y'all can stay in that breakout room as long as you want. I'll leave the Zoom up, and when I see that you've dropped off, I'll go ahead and close the Zoom. Let's all look at December 8th, see if you're available.
I'm available, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge, I'll be out of town that day. I'll either do it through Zoom or somebody will cover for me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Albee.
Judge, I can make the 8th work. Are we talking afternoon or morning, or do we know?
We don't know yet, but if we have to do it one or the other, we'll make that happen.
Okay, morning would be better, but I can make the afternoon work.
Okay,
morning is better for me.
Okay, Haley just
said it at 9 o'clock.
Haley said we can do it at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. I'm in your court at 9 o'clock that morning on another case.
Okay. Well, Haley, how can we do it at 9 o'clock if he's in with another case?
Yeah, because I haven't set that one either. We'll just set
okay.
First.
All right. Okay. Well, y'all just double check to be sure right before December 11th, but we'll make it morning. So, okay.
December 8th. December 8th. December 8th. You said the 11th.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said 11. December 8th. Okay. All right. So, all right, then we will see y'all back on December 8th sometime in the morning. So.